We're going to take a look today at a really essential part of building a successful team at work, but something that most organizations don't pay nearly enough attention to, and that is the intentional use of laughter, play, reward, recognition, celebration, what I like to call the fun side of building a team. Well, there are 4 important principles about building a successful team. First is this: you can't appreciate the people you work with too much. The cornerstone of reward and recognition is telling people what they're doing well and telling them about it publicly over and over and over again. Principle number 2, if you can add some fun and play to it, it has even more impact. It becomes an event that gets a life of its own and people keep talking about it after it's over. Number 3 is, if you're going to lead an initiative like this, you have to do it by example. If you're a manager, people who report to you look to you for subtle clues about what's appropriate behavior. And if you're not having fun, if you're not modeling this, nobody else is going to have fun. And finally, and what I think is the most important, even a little thing can have a huge impact. Lots of times I have people coming up to me after a seminar and they say, "Oh, I really was excited by what you have to say, but you know what? I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the budget." Just do something to get yourself started. Whatever's in your comfort zone, whatever is your own style of leadership, just do something. Like, next time somebody you work with goes away overnight on business, maybe they're going on a sales call, maybe they're coming to a meeting like this, maybe they're just going away on vacation. Fine. Find out what hotel they're staying in. Call up room service. Have a piece of cheesecake delivered to their room in the middle of the night. With a little note attached to it saying, "I'm thinking of you tonight. Are you thinking of me?" And don't even sign it. Huh? Let them have their little fantasy life. In our own company, Chris Kavanaugh, who was one of our trainers, heard about something another company did, and she just gathered us all around, and she said, "Okay, put your name in a hat." Everybody put their name in a hat. She said, "Pull out somebody else's name. For the next 2 weeks," she said, "you're going to be that person's secret pal." She said, "Here's $25 for each person. I want you to spend this $25 making this person's life fun the next 2 weeks." So the very next morning, my assistant Charmaine comes in. She boots up her computer. Immediately, the screensaver comes up that says, "Go to your mailbox." She goes to her mailbox, and it's filled with these fresh home-baked cookies that her secret pal had baked the night before. She walks around feeding cookies to everybody. It was fabulous. That same night, one of our trainers went home, and his wife greets him passionately at the door. She says to him, "Oh, honey, thanks for the roses." She says, "That was so thoughtful. It was so romantic. It was so sexy." He's thinking to himself, "Roses? I don't know anything about any roses." And he thought, "Oh, my secret pal must have sent some roses home in my name." At least he hoped that was what was going on. My own secret pal was really into dinosaurs. I come in the morning, and there's this huge inflatable stegosaurus on my desk. I put my jacket on at the end of the day. It's filled with all these little tiny toy dinosaurs. This guy went so far as to send to my home address a pair of Brontosaurus boxer shorts. Hey, which personally I took as a huge compliment. Well, what this did was, people were coming in early, people were staying late, people were putting things in each other's desks. You couldn't open a drawer without something crazy popping out at you. What happened? The stress level went way, way down.
When Successful Meetings magazine chose its top 20 speakers of the 20th century, they chose such luminaries as Teddy Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Gloria Steinem, and Martin Luther King Jr. And when they predicted the top 21 speakers for the 21st century, they chose Matt Weinstein.
It's very difficult to find a speaker that can come in and talk to our senior executives and the folks that drive our business at the platform level. And Matt has the ability to touch everybody in a number of different ways, and it's nice to have something like that that stimulates the entire organization and gives everybody something to look forward to.
Who are the forgotten people in this organization? Who are the people who are not in the high-profile reward and recognition positions, but who nonetheless are working really hard for the success of this company? And when I asked that question to the management team at Crate & Barrel, Al Celli, who was the East Coast distribution manager, jumped up immediately. He said, you know what? For us, it's the guys in the warehouse. He said, these guys are the backbone of the organization. They're working hard every day loading up the trucks. Nobody even knows who they are. So he went back to the loading dock, and he put up this big banner over the dock that said, packed with pride. And every time one of the teams finished loading up a truck, he would pose them under the banner, take a Polaroid photo of them, and include the Polaroid photo along with the shipment. So the people back at the stores who were unloading the trucks, they also unloaded a photo of the guys who had packed up the trucks for them. And all of a sudden, the empty trucks started coming back to the warehouse, filled with all these little cards and toys and gifts and presents for the guys back at the dock. One of the stores even took a Polaroid photo themselves, sent it back to the guys at the dock. They called it Unpacked with Pride. Well, notice what he had done. With this one simple gesture, he had really expanded their concept of who was on their team. See, there are some people who are working really hard to support you so that you can be in this chair today, right now. Who are those people in your own life? And what can you start doing to bring even more reward, recognition, appreciation to show them you really care that they care about you?
Matt Weinstein is the author of 2 best-selling books about building a winning team, Managing to Have Fun and Work Like Your Dog.
How many times have you heard somebody say, oh man, I'm working like a dog and my boss is working me like a dog? But the question is, you ever take a moment to notice how your dog does spend his day? I mean, where do we get that expression from? It would be great if you could be working like your dog. And the thing that we want to pay the most attention to is dogs don't seem to know the difference between work and play. Because everything is fun for them. Everything is new. Everything is fresh. Everything is really exciting. And when you come home from work today, as soon as you open the front door, your dog is there, tail wagging, really excited to see you. Every fiber of his being saying like, you're home! This is so great! I can't believe you came home! This is the most fantastic thing that ever happened to me! I mean, you come home from a hard day at work, I guarantee you your dog is really excited to see you. But the best thing is, you walk back into that same room 15 minutes later, your dog is still really excited to see you. Wouldn't it be great if you can walk into work first thing in the morning and the people on your team would be that excited to see you? Well, it can actually happen once you learn the secrets of how to work like your dog. See, this approach to team building has fabulous, fabulous benefits. The most obvious is the stress level goes way down. There's a huge increase in morale, in creativity, in productivity. And the best thing is, customer satisfaction goes up exponentially because people like to do business with people who like to do business. If I'm your customer, of course I'm going to buy with my head. I'm interested in price. I'm interested in value. I'm interested in service. But I'm also going to buy with my gut. What does it feel like doing business with you? What does it feel like doing business with your people? And an organization whose people feel appreciated for what they do, who are excited to answer the phone, who are excited to deal with their customers, that organization has a huge competitive advantage. It's like a magnet to draw new business into you. It's where all your long-term relationships are sourced. Our home life impacts our work life, but our work life also impacts our home life. And when I was doing an interview for Work Like Your Dog, someone said, you gotta talk to Chris McMurray, who was the general manager of radio station KLDE in Houston, Texas. So I got around to calling her up Friday, finally, and I called her up, and she said, oh, you called me on the perfect day. Today is Stress Release Friday. I said, Stress Release Friday? What's that? She said, well, on the first Friday of every month, I gather all my employees and treat them to lunch, and then I give them a kind of motivational pep talk. Then she said I hire a masseuse to come in and give everybody shoulder massages during the day. Then I hire a guy to go out in the parking lots and wash everybody's cars. Then I hire a boot black to come in and shine everybody's shoes. I said to her, does it work? She said, does it work? I have people coming in with shopping bags full of shoes, pillowcases full of shoes, their neighbor's shoes, their relatives' shoes. She said people used to cut out early on Friday afternoon to make a long weekend, not on Stress Release Friday, because it's much more fun to be at work than it is to be at home. But that doesn't have to be just one day a month. If we can inculcate a culture of celebration where we stop to celebrate even the tiniest of our successes, the workplace starts to feel very, very different. In my pre-program conference with my clients, a question I always ask is, what results do you want to see from this program? As the people are walking out of the session, what will you be looking for that will tell you that we've hit a home run? And the first thing I usually hear is, well, I want it to be fun. I want my people to be laughing. I want them to be excited. I want them to be talking about the session after it's over. And I say, whoa, that I can absolutely guarantee. They're going to be so excited you're going to have to scrape them off the ceiling when we're done. Because they're going to be participating and interacting the whole time. And I don't know of anybody else who can get audience participation the way I can. I want you to see this particular exercise, this particular experience, as a metaphor for the way work teams can begin working together. So when one person succeeds brilliantly, one person makes the sale of a lifetime, everybody else doesn't have to feel jealous. Instead, people can really understand that one person's success drives the entire organization forward and opens up opportunities for everybody. See, I deal with a really wide variety of industries. And when I talk to them about team building, almost everybody says the same thing. Team building, huge priority for us. Well, what they usually mean is, we're trying to build a sleekly muscled organization that goes out into the marketplace and kicks butt. Well, muscle is definitely an important part of building a team. But if that's all you concentrate on, you're going to burn out your best people. If you want to be in this for the long haul, if you want to really, really be nourished and replenished by your work, then it's not about muscle. In addition to muscle, you have to have some heart and some soul. And that's exactly what this approach is about. Laughter, fun, play, they're not an end in themselves, but they're a doorway in to start making the workplace more supportive, more nourishing, more human. Like anything else, you have to make this a priority. You have to make it a commitment. You can't say, oh, you know, this fun is a fun idea. You know, when the serious work is done, I'll get to it. Because you know what? There's an endless supply of that serious work. And the truth is, most people confuse serious and solemn. You can be serious and joyful at the same time. You can be totally serious about your work and be a source of unending inspiration, joy, compassion, excitement for the people around you. You do that, create a culture where people are excited about coming to work, where people are excited about answering the phone, where people are loving their jobs, and I guarantee you, competition is not going to be an issue. Thank you so much for tonight.
For more than 10 years, Matt Weinstein's keynote presentations have come with an astounding money-back guarantee. If Matt does not get a standing ovation, then you do not have to pay his fee. Needless to say, no one has ever asked for their money back.